20.2 Cultural Influences of India, China, and Korea on Japan. By the time Prince Shoku came to power in 593, cultural influences from the Asian mainland had been reaching Japan for hundreds of years. For example, craftspeople from the Korean peninsula had brought knowledge of bronze casting and advanced ironworking to Japan. Visitors from Korea had also introduced Japan to Confucianism and Buddhism. But as Shoku and later rulers sought out contact with the mainland, the pace of cultural diffusion quickened. The Japan of Prince Shoku's day was an agricultural society. People grew rice and other crops. The upper classes owned slaves and lived in houses with wooden floors and roofs of wood or thatch. The common people lived in huts with dirt floors and thatch roofs. Family life centered on the mother, who raised the children. Fathers often lived apart from their families, compared to later eras. Women enjoyed relatively high status. Japan at this time was far from being a unified country. Power was divided among the chiefs of a number of clans called the Uji, but one ruling family in the region of Yamato on the island of Honshu had grown powerful enough to loosely control much of Japan. Prince Shoku, who ruled as regent under the Empress Shikoto, came from this line of rulers. Under Shoku and later rulers, Japan took an active interest in Korean and Chinese culture. Sometimes knowledge of mainland culture came from Japanese who traveled to China. Sometimes it came in the form of gifts, such as books and objects of art, sent from the mainland to Japan. Sometimes it came from Korean workers who settled in Japan, bringing their knowledge and skills with them. During the next 3 centuries, Japan sent thousands of people, officials, students, translators, and monks on flimsy ships across the sea to China. Often these people stayed in China for years. When they returned home, they brought with them what they had learned. They also brought many examples of mainland culture, including paintings, religious statues, and musical instruments. As a result of these contacts, the Japanese acquired new ideas in government, the arts, architecture, and writing. The Japanese didn't just change their old ways for new ways. Instead, they blended new ideas with their own traditions to create a unique culture. Let's look at several of these areas in which this happened, beginning with government.